Hey, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today's going to be another wrestling related video, and it's one that I wanted to talk about because I thought it was kind of funny. I did manage to catch this match on NXT 2.0, and I thought it was just kind of a fun way to poke a little bit at woke culture, as they say, or the whole idea of safe spaces and things like that, which is what happened this past week on NXT 2.0. So this is an article from Bounding Into Comics. I'll go ahead and go over it, give a couple of thoughts, just for fun. And if you guys want to check out this article, link is in the description below as always. But let's go over it here real quick because it's lighthearted stuff. So WWE NXT 2.0 pokes fun at woke culture and safe spaces with new wrestling character. Wokeness is now hitting the world of wrestling, though not in the way you might think, and definitely not as hard as a clothesline or diving elbow. Last Tuesday night on NXT 2.0, a series focused on the young guns of WWE's new generations, the promotion introduced a gimmick change for wrestler Joe Gacy, in which he rejected his male privilege. I saw this, he was in the ring beforehand, and he just kind of cut a promo, and I do believe they go over it here now. In his pre-match promo segment, Gacy also called the ring a safe space and made reference to what he viewed as systematic conflict and microaggressions pervading both the show and the WWE in general. NXT 2.0 is full of conflict, from the smallest microaggression to the most heinous grudges. This is a place where we settle our differences, he said while having a seat in the ring. I come to you tonight with the mindset of conflict resolution where I don't need to use my male privilege to get what I want. And, look, I got to give it to Joe Gacy. The way he cut this promo was fantastic. The crap-eating grin that he had on his face when he was saying this stuff, in kind of that nice guy kind of, tone, I thought was fantastic. I thought his delivery was great, and it's funny. And Joe Gacy is a talented wrestler too, on top of everything. So I understand, just like you, that life isn't fair, he continued as he was resoundingly booed. I believe that we can achieve unity and tolerance for us all, and I can be the man that will show you we can achieve peace in the safe space, and it starts tonight. He then wrestled Southern boy Cameron Grimes in a losing effort that took approximately 5 minutes. Afterwards, instead of getting angry, Gacy gave Grimes a hug and a thank you. Gacy didn't bring it up, but equally noteworthy is Grimes' gimmick of being an overnight millionaire, a one-percenter, if you will, after having invested in GameStop stock last summer. And look, I like Cameron Grimes, another very talented wrestler. This gimmick that they're doing with them, it's fine. It's okay. They had the whole thing with Ted DiBiase and stuff beforehand. It was a good way to kind of build him up, and I hope they continue to build him up because he's another. I think he's definitely one of the better talents on the roster that I thought, at least for a little while, they were kind of underutilizing, but it seems like they still do have plans for him, so I hope that they'll continue to build him up, because as we've seen, with wrestling, what's going on now with wrestling, I mean, AEW, of course, is exploding. They seem to be enjoying a lot of success, and it feels like, the WWE is lagging behind. It does, in that sense, kind of remind me of the Monday Night Wars. It's good to have competition again, because I think it will also bring out the best in WWE. Hopefully, it will help them elevate their product. I mean, it hasn't looked like it as of yet, but I still have hope. I still have hope because it's good for people to have options on where they want to work. I would hate to see WWE ever go out of business and stuff like that. So I hope that they can get back on track. But I digress. Let me get back to this here. A feud could potentially brew between the two, but as of writing, there's no telling what's in store for Joe Gacy if this character has a future on TV, or if this character has a future on TV. Interestingly, I hope so, because I think it's great. I think it's hilarious. Interestingly, the character might not even have one, as WWE has scrubbed all footage and references to the gimmick from most of their social media after Gacy and the story got attention from mainstream news outlets, including Fox News and the New York Post. I mean, look, and that's one thing, look, you all did it. Just own it, because I think there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's okay to poke fun at stuff like this, especially when you see that it's the worst aspects of that, the wokeness culture, and put that on display and make a mockery of it. I think that's fine. I think you could poke fun at just about anything, just like if you want to do it on the flip side of that equation, as long as it's not, because it really isn't hurting anybody at the end of the day. And really, this is a caricature of, the worst aspects of wokeness, I think, which we know is not really a majority of people, right? It's just kind of a subset within, a very small minority within people that stand on a particular side of the aisle, right? So, a fixture of the independent wrestling circuit, or indies, for several years before he made it to the WWE. Gacy's first brush with internet fame came when a hypnotized dance-off he helped stage at an indie show went viral a decade ago. Watch him look back at the experience below in a documentary short, and here's the link to the video. As for Gacy, he could be assigned a new character or repackaged, as they say in wrestling, but it's not like his vapid safe space and unity extolling is the worst politically charged angle WWE has ever foisted upon audiences, and I don't think so either. Usually not shying away from controversy, WWE regularly exploited political tensions in the 80s and 90s, usually to evoke sympathy for patriotic babyface good guy and get the people behind him. Hulk Hogan typically found himself in the hero role at that time, partaking in a formula that didn't always go according to plan. And that's true, especially if you think about around the time that the Gulf War was kicking off with Sergeant Slaughter, his feud with Sergeant Slaughter. I mean, I think is a prime example of what they're talking about here in this article. In the 2000s, they tried to make Muhammad Hassan out to be an evil foreigner, bitter Arab-American outsider in a post-9/11 atmosphere, a character which blew up in their face when audiences and network TV executives bore witness to Hassan incorporate simulated garroting and terror tactics on The Undertaker the same week the London bombings occurred, which, that was really just really bad timing at that particular point in time. And not to say that, I'm sure people have their opinions on whether or not this character should have existed around that time, and that's a fair conversation to have. It's not one we're going to have here in this video, but it's something that, like I said, is something that's probably worth having a conversation about within the wrestling community. So, as fast as his career took off, it was over for Hassan, who in reality was Italian American, and he hasn't wrestled or graced the ring much since 2005. What do you make of Gacy's woke character? Let us know your thoughts on social media or in the comments down below. I think it's funny, but truthfully speaking, it is probably not going to be something that lasts very long. It's really just something that will be done really in transition, because Joe Gacy is not a main event player in NXT right now. So with Hulk Hogan, you could get away with doing a lot of that stuff back in the day because he was the biggest star in the company, and around that time, why wouldn't you do it, right? It really was something that I guess echoed the sentiments of that particular time frame, so it made sense. It kind of made sense to do. Not that I'm saying that it really not that it didn't really, I won't say that it really helped or hurt the WWE in any way. It was just something they did. And in this particular instance, like I said, because Joe Gacy is not really a main event player, I don't see this really being something that lasts long. This is only something to do in transition until they can figure out probably a better character for him to do. But in the time being, it's just something funny to laugh at. Like I said, just something to have fun with, and not some, it's not meant to be something that anybody should take serious offense to. And it's just obviously it is mocking the worst aspects of, like I said, that wokeness mindset. But it's just all in fun. I think it's pretty harmless, and it's not going to lead to anything really, really bad. And again, like I said, it's not something that's going to last for a long period of time. I doubt that Joe Gacy's tenure in NXT, or if he gets put up to the main roster, is going to be this particular character. I'm sure that he will evolve during his time there. Maybe he'll evolve this character maybe into something else, or maybe like they said, he'll be repackaged into something completely different. But in the time being, I mean, it's just something funny they're doing just to kind of poke fun at, like I said, the worst aspects, you know, and the worst, I guess, representatives of that particular, you know, mindset, I guess you could say. And like I said, it's nothing that people should really get overly offended about. But of course, people get offended about just about anything these days. So we'll see what happens. But I thought it was pretty harmless for the most part. I didn't think it was something that was really bad. It's just, like I said, just something being done in fun. But anyways, what do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comment section below. And until next time, y'all know how it goes. The hunt continues.